This week, the Honourable Maninder Sidhu, Minister of International Trade, met with Goh Kim Yong, Singapore's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Trade and Industry in South Africa. During the meeting, Minister Sidhu highlighted the strong and long-standing partnership between Canada and Singapore. Today, the Honourable Maninder Sidhu, Minister of International Trade, spoke with Piyush Goyal, India's Minister of Commerce and Industry. Minister Sidhu highlighted the renewal of the Canada-India bilateral relationship and Canada's work to deepen economic cooperation and advance shared priorities. Time 8:30, 9:00//18 to 18:30 location. Video conference notes this event is for accredited members of the press gallery only. Media who are not members of the press gallery may contact Pressers 2 at parliamentgc.cafe or temporary access. Today, the Honourable Anita Anand, Minister of Foreign Affairs, announced she will travel to India, Singapore and China from October 12 to October 17 to advance bilateral relations and cooperation with these countries as part of Canada's Indo-Pacific strategy. During her visit to Delhi, India, Minis. The tribunal is an independent quasi-judicial body that reports to Parliament through the Minister of Finance. It hears cases on dumped and subsidized imports, safeguard complaints, complaints about federal government procurement and appeals of customs and excise tax rulings. When requested by the F. The tribunal is an independent quasi-judicial body that reports to Parliament through the Minister of Finance. It hears cases on dumped and subsidized imports, safeguard complaints, complaints about federal government procurement and appeals of customs and excise tax rulings. When requested by the F. Note, after 9:30 p.m., the architectural lighting will return to the blue-green illumination that reduces the risk of disorientating birds during their migratory period, which runs until November 20. On behalf of the Honourable David McGuinty, Minister of National Defence, the Honourable Stephanie McLean, Secretary of State, will hold an announcement on October 16 regarding the work underway on several hundred residential housing units across Canada to help meet the housing needs of the Canadian A. The National Film Board of Canada is launching Top Docs, a new fast channel showcasing curated documentary content from its acclaimed catalogue of over 6,000 titles. The NFB distribution team will present Top Docs at MIPCOM, with global rights now available. Top Docs will be available on the Zone IFI app. Note, after 9:30 p.m., the architectural lighting will return to the blue-green illumination that reduces the risk of disorientating birds during their migratory period, which runs until November 20. The Honourable Evan Solomon, Minister of Artificial Intelligence and Digital Innovation and Minister responsible for the Federal Economic Development Agency for Southern Ontario, will be visiting the United Arab Emirates on October 13 and 14 and Qatar on October 15 as part of Canada's outreach to T. Further to a commitment made by G7 foreign ministers in March 2025, we, members of the G7 and the Nordic Baltic 8++ Shadow Fleet Task Force, met today to enhance our cooperation and move forward to further disrupt and deter the global shadow fleet engaged in illegal, unsafe, or environmentally parallel. The contraband and unauthorized items seized included hashish, cocaine, methamphetamine pills, tobacco, and a USB charger. The total estimated institutional value of this seizure is $140,562. The Correctional Service of Canada uses a number of tools to prevent drugs from entering its institutions. T. The items seized included marijuana, tobacco, cell phones and cell phone accessories. The total estimated institutional value of these seizures is approximately $147,400. The Correctional Service of Canada uses a number of tools to prevent drugs from entering its institutions. These tools include For immediate release signage will be in place, and traffic control personnel will be on site. The cycling lane toward Gatineau will remain open throughout the work to accommodate pedestrians and cyclists traveling in both directions. To ensure everyone's safety, cyclists will be required to dismount. The CRTC is reducing the administrative burden on radio stations so that they have more time to focus on serving their listeners. Radio plays an important role in the daily lives of Canadians. Through radio, Canadians connect with their communities, stay informed through local news, discover artists. This visit will seek to further strengthen Canada's bilateral relationship and expand agricultural cooperation, building on the September meeting between Prime Minister Carney and President Sheinbaum, where the Canada-Mexico Action Plan 2025 to 2028 was announced. In Mexico, Minister MacDonald will meet. Rapid, sustainable housing construction is a priority for the Government of Canada. To meet the current shortage, the government is making investments to support the development of innovative, sustainable manufacturing solutions, thereby accelerating the construction of affordable housing. In this C. Library and Archives Canada is pleased to announce that the statue of Sir Arthur Doughty is now accessible to members of the public walking the interpretative trail around LAC's Preservation Campus in Gatineau, Quebec. Originally erected in December 1940 in front of the former National Archives of. The meeting will be co-chaired by the Honourable Marjorie Michel, Federal Minister of Health, and the Honourable Adriana Lagrange, Alberta's Minister of Primary and Preventative Health Services. On October 16, Minister Lagrange will host the Provincial and Territorial Health Ministers meeting. News. The Honourable Patty Hajdu, Minister of Jobs and Families and Minister responsible for the Federal Economic Development Agency for Northern Ontario, and the Honourable Stephanie McLean, Secretary of State, will be in Victoria to make an announcement on new measures to bring costs down for Canadians. Winnipeg Jeanette Levac, Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Indigenous Services and Member of Parliament, will make an announcement on Tuesday about minority language education and second language instruction. She will make this announcement on behalf of the Honourable Stephen Guilbault, Mini. Investing in cultural spaces brings together communities, showcases Canada's diverse artistic talent, and strengthens both our economy and our identity. Today, the Honourable Jeanette Petitpas-Taylor, Member of Parliament, announced funding for projects that will enhance cultural infrastructure in C. Rapid, sustainable housing construction is a core priority for the Government of Canada. To meet the current shortage, the government is focusing on strategic investments to support innovative, sustainable manufacturing solutions that will make it possible to accelerate the construction of affordable. Through this award, Quebec's museum community recognizes the excellence of the exhibition and its contribution to the advancement of museology in Quebec. For the museum service staff of the National Battlefields Commission, the prestigious award is doubly significant because it was granted for their